Okay, second stage, the block in. So I have all my colours mixed up here, and one thing I've noticed from the last one is that my greens for the pear were a little too green, so I needed to soften them down. It's more of a sort of olivey, yellowish green. Now what it needs is not more yellow, but a little touch of the burnt sienna in it, and it comes down to a much softer green. So blocking in, it doesn't really matter which way around I do it. I need to squint at it to really be able to see the lights and the darks. I might block in the light sections first. The light comes around the stalk like that. It then falls down the pear. And for now I'm ignoring the light brown pattern. That really is the most difficult aspect of this. So first of all I want to try and get a good green pear, and then I'm going to try and add the brown onto that. Let's look at the corresponding light green on this pear. So every time I do a block in of one colour on one pear, I'm going to do the same thing for the other pear. So its light comes down somewhere around here. Squint at it, we can see the light and shade just stopping around here. Might be an idea to just pop some sense of the highlight in at this stage. Okay. Now down into the darkest green, which is mostly the blue and the brown mix with just a touch of yellow. So in places it's going to be a very deep green, and some places it's going to turn to a very dark brown. I'm going to make the shadows darker than I think they need to be. That idea of chiaroscuro, so we can always lighten them up a little bit later. Any dark browns? Yes, but very dark brown over here. Okay. Do we have any light browns? Yes, we have a large patch of light brown here. As I say, most of the detail I'm going to worry about later on. If there are any large patches, I'll pop them in now. This is kind of a mid brown over here. Let's get our middle green now, just to join up. That middle green can also be used for reflected light. A lovely bit of reflected light coming from this pear onto this one. Okay. Might be a good point to block in the lighter part of the shadow, which is going to be cool. In this instance we have a warm light, so cool shadows. Remember to keep that dark accent clean. And we can soften the transition, and then in for the background. I'm just going to dilute the paint down a little bit for this warm white, and carefully look at my shapes. So drawing all the time, keeping an eye on the drawing, not just sitting back and relaxing after we've done the initial drawing and assuming that we've got it all right, because they tend to lines tend to creep as we paint. We've always got to keep them in check. Like this stalk, you can see that needs sharpening up. Do you notice how I'm using the brush to create the line? The side of the brush. A lot of control over that. I'm going to keep these edges quite abstract rather than overworking everything. So we'll keep our edges fairly dense. It doesn't really matter what happens on the periphery. One last little thing, I might just pull some paint into the stalk so that we can see that. Okay, and that's probably enough for the blocking stage, so I'll take another break now.